We enter into our practice this morning with mindfulness of breath. When you breathe in, you know you are breathing in. There may be slight kumbhaka breath retention at either the peak or the valley of the breath. When you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And in these first few moments of our practice, you may reflect on how things have subtly changed. The depth or pace of the breath, the experience of your sit. The entrance into our sit. Does it give rise to restfulness, wakefulness, ease or dis-ease? Or open? Our practice today will be focused on the experience of change. Around 2:30 or 3 o'clock yesterday, nature has, I've always said this, I've said this a lot, maybe, has this way of illustrating concepts that are difficult for humans, or maybe just this human, to explain. Nature does it so well. And yesterday at about 2:30 or 3, I think the day was about 76 degrees, and then cold front. Seems like in a single blast of air started to come through. For me, it was a welcome change. When I was out last week, I was hopeful that I would come back to cooler temps and feeling like fall was finally here. But yesterday morning, that was not the case, even into the afternoon. And isn't it funny that change is always unfolding? It's really just us. It's really just me. It's really maybe just you. The resistance to change is what causes the suffering, the clinging, the grasping, whether it be to the past, of how we want things to stay, the future, how we want things to be. And yesterday, when that cool air came through, I could feel in a very embodied way the sense of relief that the weather was cooperating, I give air quotes, with how I wanted things to be. Is there a capacity that can be cultivated for ease in the body, ease in the breath throughout change? And I think the answer to that question, for me at least, comes from the loosening of grip on how I want things to be. Many times, suffering is the result of my own doing, my clinging, my yearning for things to be different than how they are. This isn't to negate the very real suffering that happens as the result of others inflicting pain or suffering on a person or a group of people. What I'm talking about here is my self-inflicted suffering. So we'll spend some time this morning considering how we may be complicit in our own suffering. Because change is always happening, moment to moment, breath to breath. This body could be at a very subtle level. Where might that change be manifesting for you? Positive change, like I felt after 2:30. Negative change that I felt before 2:30. Open investigation into how clinging or aversion may show up this morning, maybe yesterday or this past weekend, or maybe what's yet to come. We sit. I'm noticing in my own experience that a flurry of activity tries to keep me separate from the experience of subtlety, which is where change a lot of times shows up. Sometimes we have these sweeping, obvious experiences of change. More often, it is at a micro level. In all, we stay present, we stay soft, we stay fiercely compassionate. Stay with it. The rapid pace of change may also serve us, knowing that any conditions of suffering or dis-ease that exist right now will no doubt change. I don't know how true this is, but I once heard a colleague say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So let change serve you. If the mind continues to be rattled, choose on purpose a more skillful means to navigate. Even a single moment of awareness focused on breath or some kind of real sensation may help break the cycle that over and over and over again, waiting for a different outcome, be the catalyst to disrupt, to be the effort, to be the stimulus that causes change, that ripple effect. Stick with it, as always. few weeks ago, we were exploring mudras, physical postures of usually the hands. In some traditions, like in Balinese dance, it would be the eyes. And some types of Indian dance also employ different forms of mudra. But for our purposes, we were exploring mudras in the hands. And for our last few minutes of our sit today, you may welcome in a mudra if you haven't already. It may be as simple as thumb and pointer finger, palms facing up. Mudras give us the opportunity to come into awareness of subtle energy. This might be physical energy, which can be subtle. And if you would like to take two hands of a mudra or even isolate one of your hands for mudra, is there subtle changes you can pick up on in the experience of even thumb to pointer finger or whatever shape you've chosen? It may be the slight changes of those 2 points meeting. Most of us aren't stone still. It may be the subtle sliding of your fingertips together on purpose or on accident. Temperature, pulsing, texture. When we take this universal perspective of change, it becomes a lot less personal. It's usually only at the individual level where suffering arises from change. Change is the way of things. The evolution of our universe, however it came to be, has always been in a state of change. This is the way of things, a freeing statement in and of itself. And if you've taken a mudra, you are welcome to ease your way back. Anjali mudra, hands at heart. And maybe you notice here, palms together, how even a simple mudra that we take so often is in a constant state of change. Familiar, likely, but yet always evolving. I like to bring hands to heart and then join the heart chakra to the wisdom center of our third eye. Maybe a bow. May the merits of this practice be of benefit to all sentient beings, always including ourselves in the circle of compassion. Many thanks for your practice this morning. Have a beautiful day.